in a position of guard, so in relation to. I know very well that the brother, he was there yesterday, so in relation to information o lupa diginfa, e kakulpo kulomakush a borj relation to informed me by Doraisa in relation to Sautor. And we encourage them Pima Republican because also it is a little difficult, but still so. Measure up, don't let yourself be fooled. But you still have to be intelligent in the way you respond, because you're dealing with people. But you see, it's a dignity.
Oh yeah.
She really said something because position. But really, I think very well, and I know that President Macky Sall is proud of you. So that's the alliance between the Republic and everything. Personally, maybe, but I don't when it comes to the Republic. I don't when it comes to national security, but I don't when it comes to the truth. Just often we disagree. When we disagree, we denounce the fact, okay? But still, I have the article. Intervasen Rasen, journalist who was arrested in connection with the end of the 13 people, 14 AV. He was arrested. Heard all his rights. Respected. Her were published by the institution as a warrant of arrest. Also Supreme Court, which as president of Murder Criminal Association, no, days declaration. Personally, Jantu presidential pardon because there are prerogatives of the president of the president. Because President Amin, still wanting to take advantage of a presidential pardon to bring Senegalese justice. I say that it is clumsy, but also with the truth, because you are journalists, sometimes do good work. But sometimes people are hurt. So element by element. So, I think that first element sent. So there you have it. In these first words, Mr. Bannon expressed a deep hurt towards the families of the victims. I ask forgiveness from those who lost their children, their brothers, their wives. May God help them and support them so that they can overcome this ordeal. These words reflect both the pain of a broken man and the desire to get closer to those who continue to suffer. He has said that he did nothing but let the victim's witness case and that he has never stopped claiming innocence. So through interviews, there you have it. So, there you have it. He did nothing, so he is a victim and a witness to this, to is. I wanted to make it the subject of a live broadcast yesterday, part 3. But I knew very well that he was going to speak and I knew that he was going to speak and that he was going to present himself as a victim in relation to. And in what follows, he cannot be considered a victim. Ooh, man. I have nothing against him, seriously. But the truth, his primary mission is to defend the truth in this case. Fought ran in relation to the conviction Mohan Balat's lawyer from the first instance to the Supreme Court epoch. The facts sufficiently demonstrate that the offense with which the former Senegalese woman is accused, which is the offense of complicity in murder and the purchase of criminals, was very well justified by the judges, both in the first instance and in the Supreme Court. The court in the same circumstances of time and place, accused Abdukim Adam Tombone, Chief OM, Pat Jean-Christophe, complicity in murder, rendered by the courts It is easy today to want to present ourselves as investigative journalists. Yes, he can be an investigative journalist. Nah! Because, well, first of all Disney, search, computer, newspaper of the country, newspaper propagandist. the forest of. On the facts, expected it on the expected facts, which result from the procedure that on January 6, 2018, on January 6, 2018, on January 6, 2018, who Bamba, who does not sapi gendarmerie. So on January 6, 2018, the elements of the mixed brigade of gendarmerie received a call from the firefighters informing them of the discovery of several lifeless bodies in the far of the east. January 6, 2018. January 6 and 18. Brigade that transported to the scene lifeless bodies, several injured. Well, persons and wood gatherers. Because they killed the good people. One. January 11, 2018. Arrested by investigators. Ibra told the police that he had used his real first name as one of the names of the villagers involved in the killings. January. November 2017. November. Gene. Volunteered Mal. November 2017. December 22, 2017. Those responsible for the surrounding villages. December 2017. 20. Meeting, it was in November 2017. November 2017. Investigation. But requisition. The investigation conducted by investigators revealed that in November 2017, the village of Troublante, other than the search, so very well. Other than this, of the account of Con at .fr, FM. It is public. It is public. It is public. A court decision. It is public. Oh, so bullying. The search of the email account of Bassène Fumuna at FR. Several emails sent by the latter were revealed, including the following: gendarmerie, complicity in murder, association of resurrection, complicity in complicity. An email sent December 2017, in January 6, 2018. January 2018. January 2018, December 2, 2017. Journal du Pays Internet. So an email. It is a member of the MFDC in Senegal. So an email sent on December 2, 2017 to Ousmane Tamba. Tamba-Tamba@Blauin. In these terms, since there is a situation of injustice that is reigning in Casamance, people have been put in prison for the simple fact that they oppose the abusive exploitation of wood in the south of Cardem. We will have to inform everyone and ask him to tell these men to take hostage all the cutters they apprehend. We will make a fight out of it. Thank you for understanding. The Tobacco affair is such a mess. It is the edge these days in Fricota. He must intervene quickly. Please ask everyone to tell the fighter to patrol. The day before yesterday, they were there, we hit the cutters. This time, he must take them hostage. The people must feel that the MFDC is behind them. And it is an Annex 12. 12. Pray. He does not have. So? Why? For the good impression that volunteer. So report, the men are the rebels of our, they are the bad ones. The rebels, the ones we can't call them around sincerely by. So he tells him that it will be necessary to inform everyone and ask him to tell his men to take hostages. So here he asks everyone to take hostages of Senegalese or even people, even Durbalois, even Futan, even Ngom. They are Senegalese. So the fact, the only fact, of wrongdoing, of evil, and injustice. They are not from him. He did not say it in the report. Confronted, therefore, a notorious, characterized, recognized situation of fatigue. We will do a fight. He must intervene quickly. Why not the brothel in the brother of Tobakuta? Of Toledo. Please ask at all to tell the fighter to patrol. This time he must take them hostage. Not hostage. The population must bring back MFDC. Men. What population? The name of Tobakuta, MFDC men. He didn't say the name must believe center that the army is behind the regular army, but the MFDC. A separatist movement, dentist, a movement of Rev. So this is the first time before you on December 2, 2017. Through a search, discovered on December 3, 2017. December 3, 2017. 3 male. 2017 male. Journalpays.com. Newspaper of the country, Usman Tamakum, with a copy to Usman Tambas, blew in, including a press release entitled Atika will take action against the illegal cutter of headwood in the Bayon forest. This is one of the MFDC's armed forces. Armed wing. A politician. The Secretary General, the military leader or not, but a fighter of the MFD, is called ATK. Right. ATK. The name of this rebel. This is there. You have it. So the one they want, who they want to present to us as one, as already, as one, as a victim in all this, as a victim in all this. This is the December 3, 2017. Wrote it to me. I am sending this press release and article, which I hope you publish tomorrow. Tomorrow. It is the crucial day where everything must be decided. Tomorrow. Newspaper P. National. Paper. Journal.com. With a release from the cell and the rebellion. So, and as I suggested, let them be informed because this forest is under their territory. Beware of everything. And if the cutters persist, let them be taken hostage. He is the communications expert. This is my fight, a free Casamance long. Live Casamance. And today he wants us to believe that he was called a rebel. No one was called a rebel. It is because in the evidence that a court decision, I am only commenting on the court decision rendered by a court in Senegal. So, in this Meet Villa Libre, it is the warrior slogan of the MFDC. Free is independent. It is Senegal. That is what I am proposing. It is. Set we got free to claim our own victory. The press release stated, among other things, that given the imperative need to protect one of the last remaining forests, the MFDC movement will intervene if a conflict occurs. It is necessary, indeed. It is we face the imperative to protect one of the last remaining forests that exists. If conflict occurs, the MFDC will intervene via ATEC, its armed wing. Can't continue. The email? Whoever's writing knows that ATEC is the armed branch that is replacing the Inter-Village Committee. From now on, any woodcutter who ventures into the forest known as B will have to deal with MFDC fighters who will not hesitate to deal with them with the utmost firmness. That's 1,000. That's a relief B sent on December 2017. Nam, who presents him as a victim of an injustice. What injustice? He was imprisoned, convicted of criminal conspiracy for complicity in me. So 1,000 for December 3, 2000. B, December 3, 2017. Well, there you go. There you go. December 5, 2017. Send always bowed in these terms. In Casamance. Finally, the judgment was not. They are not present. Because, well, there you go. December 12th, 2017. Still, I have come to submit to you, in which the sea will be digested. I have come to submit to you information for reflection and sharing with our fighting brothers. Our fighting brothers. And who are the fighting brothers? They're the activists or members of the MFDC. Don't come here and tell us that all is bad. So I've come to submit to you information for reflection and sharing with our fighting brothers. There is a program called Pimento of 55 billion solely intended for the construction of infrastructure, tracks, schools, and in the communes of Pubacamunda, Sanchak, and Jid. In short, in the areas that are still held by our brothers, like the move of the construction of tracks and the exploitation of the we must react. We must force the negotiate table. The state behaves as if the rebellion no longer exists. It is the survival of the Mak that is at stake. That is why a rapid reaction is needed in the TAC forest. There you have it. So on December 12, 2017, I want Usman, Tambe, I come to you, here, I come to you, Isize. I come to submit some information to you for reflection. Brother fighters. Who are the brother fighters? It is armed with the MFDC fighter. Okay. It has a 55 billion SpiceApp program, a 2.5 billion program solely intended for an eco construction. Siamos Pond program and we must react by forcing Senegal to the negotiating table. We must force Senegal to the negotiating table. The state behaves as if the rebellion no longer exists. Senegal, like a rebellion. That is why a rapid reaction is needed. A rapid reaction is needed. That is December 12, 2017. January 2018. December 2017. January 2018. All by the same men. On December 15. On December 15, 2017. Send a message to the country's newspaper with a copy to Usman Tamba at Biel Wimblu in important a press release attributed to the Maki Communications Unit. On December 15, 2017 was sent to the country's online newspaper, the MFDC's, live newspaper, the MFDC, in all its components or in all its components, whether political or combatant. Takim Besai condemns the imprisonment to 1 month in prison of 4 young members of the Intervillage Committee. Daniel sentenced to 1 month in prison. Finally sentenced. Press release. The MFDC in all its components and faction condemns the imprisonment to 1 month in prison of 4 young members of the Intervillage Committee for the Preservation of Our Environment. Today, the F2BAYO is left at the mercy of the throne, at least. If armed violence is needed to regenerate the enemy, if armed violence is needed to regenerate, the NFDC will be forced to take up arms again to fight against the oppression that the populations are currently experiencing and to ensure the protection of these forests and mineral resources. Let the lobbyists take this into account. Let the public remember that from now on, it is the MFDC that is responsible for protecting all national resources in the country, whatever happens. This is an email from Ben that you are presenting to us as a victim of injustices. A victim of injustice. We acknowledge, but whom the colonist presents to us as an injustice victim, because that is an incitement to rebellion, an incitement to murder, and an incitement to kidnapping. The MFDC is a victim of injustice. The MF concerned environmental protection, but the state of Senegal, if violence resurfaces, the MFD will be forced to take up arms again. It is not. Against the oppression that the populations are currently experiencing, and to ensure the protection of these forest resources that the lobbies are taking it into account that the Senegalese public opinion. MF December 12th. Like, on January 8th, like, January 6th. So December, the corn sent by Mahman, so sent on December 15. December 15, 2017, January 6th, which is called Raben, for January 8, 2018. Sent newspaper with a copy to Usman, still in the following terms. The whole world is informed of what happened in the fort of Latela. We must refuse to give the paternity to the MFC. They organized and planned everything. The 6th, the 8th. Is already done. The battle of communication is fought. Here is the communication, published as soon as possible. Like communication, we must know how to react in the heat of the moment. The culprits are the administrative authorities who, instead of preserving the forest, preferred to turn a blind eye and become part of a timber trafficking network. So the W means sequence. It is a sequence. How to put it? It hurts so much when I hear about Commissioner Aziz. We mustn't play the hypocrite. I'm not talking about Casamance. I'm talking about Bassène. And what he said wrote Manaf Kendiken. So I'm not talking about the case. That's why Bob, So, and since we have to know how to react in the heat of the moment, the culprits are the administrative authorities who, instead of preserving the forest, prefer to turn a blind eye and become part of a timber trafficking network, the text by publicly allowing illegal logging to evolve. It's a battle of PR. It's up to us to handle the rest. A communication on January 6, 2018, given that the death certificate and forensic medical expertise report drawn up by the doctors of the hospital, disciple of Ant, the Peace Hospital, the Regional Hospital, and the Interim Medical Center stating the death. We certificate of death of the people of Peace Medical Center, bold, expertise, Abda Balde, blow and wound by gunshot fired, at close range and touching blow, blow and wound by firearm, carrying, Usman Balde, known as Ibra following court, and Usman Balda have fired at point-blank range. Usman Balda Ibrahim, the woman or the wound, the weapon, fatal firearm of Nuf, 4 bullet impacts of caliber 7.62 on the calo and the same number of bullet impacts of undetermined caliber on the body of Usman Balde. It is Al-Balde. Deep penetrating wounds at the level of the spine, read of a wound of approximately 10 times 1.5 centimeters and regular edge to edge. No miss, following an open fracture of the right lower jaw with a fold of approximately 10 times 5 centimeters with an irregular edge. It is immediately returned. It is immediately returned, in particular, of fold of the scalp. Of the left parietal scalp of approximately 4 times 1 centimeter, and actually with a regular edge, so there you go. Continued, Layla, cut. Continued. On, in particular, of a head trauma, there you go, with plate approximately 7 times 4 centimeters with a regular edge at the right parietal level of a scalp plea approximately 4 times 1. Gasima by multiple trauma caused by a bullet with bullet impact to the abdomen entry orifice at the left lateral phase in the aftermath of a left subscapularis plows, an onychal plows and legionella in the 3rd degree. Ibrahim the DS, a firearm wound of the hypogastric region and the left lateral thoracic region of alpha aplo following a transfixing trachoabdominal fold with an entry orifice in the trace posterior region and an exit orifice in the right flank and of a firearm fold of the anterior cervical region. Easy. An old Sonny following a transfixing wound of the thorax with a pontiform entry orifice in the posterior phase, therefore, of the thorax and an exit orifice at the level of the right clavicle with clavicular fracture of legion of Prohl in the 3rd degree, carbonization at the level of the pelvic tabdino extended to the right knee and legions of more than 2nd degree superficial at the level of the Kragen. Numb. Voy. Organized plan armed by the NFDC. By the people of. Now. Then in front of the investigators, the investigating elements, investigating. Then in front of the investigators, exposed that he is a journalist working at the National Agency for Economic Recovery, supervised in RAC since 2006. Noting that he plays a role of informant between the parties concerned in the conflict case and the state and the state. Informant element. Informant. Sent in the air. You did not do it, so you were not an agent. So that continuing, he had learned of the killings the same day through the CFM before calling a member of the police, and then to all Bayard asking if these were the attacked men that, but Harishim if these were the attacked men that. Returning to this subject, he noted, having received the call from Sall before calling, that he declared to this effect, having called Jean Phi on January 6, 2018. Yeah, the imminence of a catastrophe in the forest. Gendarmerie, police. He received before. Moreover, in the report, it is telephone. I did not prefer, but it is telephone.